What's something that's not a cult but feels like a cult? AA. I am in AA. I like AA. It saved my life. But it is cultish a lot of the time. Also in AA, also love AA, also agree. AA is great. If you let it become your new addiction, it will be pretty cult-like. Some people forget we got sober so we could function in normal society. Yup, can't just hang out in meetings all day and night. It's a bridge back to life. Get off the bridge and get to living. But same here, it saved my life and I love it. 3 years clean from 4 heroin and meth. Meetings were instrumental in my first year. But after that, I felt as though I didn't need them anymore. I slowly stopped going. It's been a little over 2 years since I've been to a meeting, but now I have a job, an apartment, and my driver's license. Feeling pressured to work the steps, get a sponsor, etc., and basically being told if I don't or won't do these things I'll never maintain sobriety, was a big reason I stopped going. With that being said, I wouldn't be where I am at now without those meetings. A good bridge to a sponsor that I have found is friends and coworkers that don't drink or do drugs. It's the social situations the most that affect me, and it's nice having others as indirect support. My rule is that I will not go somewhere with alcohol without someone who knows I am an alcoholic. I do not expect them to stop me. At most, I think most would ask to make sure that is what I want to do, but it is a nice backstop if I am just not thinking and reach for a beer over a Coke. The Herbalife Organization. They were charged with being a pyramid scheme, but they still operate in a similar way. There are several people I grew up with who became hooked on it, and they definitely act like they're in a cult. Some workplaces. The ones that push the "we're all family here" attitude especially. Marching band. If you know, you know. One thing that still blows my mind to this day is that people pay thousands of dollars to be in drum corps bands. So many questions when I first learned about it. Oh, so it's like being in an orchestra where it's your job to play and be the best in the world. Nope, you pay them actually. Oh well, at least you'll be basically famous or at least really well known for playing that instrument. Nope, the only people who even know the name of your corps or even what drum and bugle corps is in general are other corps members, their family, or high school marching band kids and their teachers. Totally agree with you. I was in marching band in high school and just graduated earlier this year. I wanted to do drum corps since 7th grade but decided not to in my last year of marching band. People are paying to learn, that's what it's about. But I barely have enough money for that after I got a job and would much rather spend those years of my life earning money and planning for my future. And the hours that they make you rehearse. In high school we would have band camp for 2 weeks and it was 11 hours a day 6 days a week. I think drum corps does more and it's for months at a time. I still have friends who want to do that. I wanted to be a part of C so badly back in the day. I graduated in 2008. The summer after I graduated, I got to go to their finals in Indianapolis. It was absolutely incredible. I enjoyed every moment, but I wasn't willing to shell to the money and switch to a marching baritone. I played trombone. High school clubs where you spend a lot of time together. Marching band and theater are the ones that come to mind for me. This is extremely true of theater, even into the professional ranks. Too many gurus, too little pay, too many abuses. Yeah, I studied theater for 2 years in college and it got to the point where there was definitely a cult-like atmosphere. When I decided to leave and study engineering, instead, there was even a girl who sat me down and told me that God gave me the gift of acting and that by choosing to ignore that gift I was ignoring God. Yeah. Shit was weird. I'm a lot happier in engineering. I swapped from theater to programming. I was only ever interested in tech work for theater. I loved it, did I for like 6 years straight. But at some point I had to sit down and realize 95% of the people I knew were absolute cunts. Always talking down about non-theater people, actors always talk down to tech, and especially people would talk down to me because I actually said what I wanted instead of parroting popular opinion about theater. One girl tried to get everyone to hate me because I didn't come see her show. I still love theater, and I'd love to do it in a more amateur setting, but I can't stand the people. I work as an audio-visual tech for a church right now, but it's a different type of work than live plays. I went to school for tech and have been doing it professionally since then, well, up until COVID. The trick they don't teach you in school is work entertainment, not theater. I freelanced in theaters and go treated like shit everywhere I worked. I switched to dance concerts and theme park work and instantly refound my love for tech work. No more getting talked down to, no more pretentious speeches about family, and no more having to fight to actually get paid for my work. Yeah, entertainment is the way to go, really. It's a lot better. Even though my current gig isn't really entertainment, it's so much better than working with actors. Getting treated like a human being is much better than dealing with actors. CrossFit. A friend of mine does CrossFit and I made the mistake of saying I'm glad you found something that works for you. Got a tirade of why it works for everyone. Has he told you that he does CrossFit today? Let me tell you about my WOD and why you really need to go paleo. I physically recoiled when I read this. One of my coworkers is a CrossFitter and he says exactly this crap all the time. Interestingly, though, he's also a young Earth creationist who thinks the Earth is only 6,000 years old. Like, dude, how can you believe in a paleo diet when you don't even believe that the Paleolithic era ever happened? MLMS, but especially Mary Kay. I went to a convention once as the guest of a consultant because she was trying to get me to join. It was very Stepford. Also, she didn't tell me you were expected to dress up, so I showed up in jeans and a hoodie. Haha. I had the exact same experience. Showed up looking normal and realized these were not my kind of people. I suspect that is part of the plan. Get people to arrive underdressed so that they feel like they are in the presence of success. Makes the outsiders easy to find so you can push them into becoming part of your downline. Wow. That's pretty clever. Kinda nefarious, but clever. Invite people as if it's a casual event, and then they arrive with everybody else dressed to the nines and looking super successful. Certain personalities would be easily manipulated in those circumstances. Especially if they were all very welcoming and friendly to the guests before the sales pitch. Some families. If you're inside the family, you are accepted no matter what, and you don't question anything. If you're outside the family, you are treated politely but don't really matter much unless you act as part of the family. If you were part of the family, but betray them, you are excommunicated and they spread lies about you. Whenever my wife and I see signs in people's houses that say something like, "This is a happy family," or "This family lives, laughs, and loves," we like to call it household propaganda. We tend to picture those families the way you describe here. I ducking hate shit like that. I have a wife and 2 kids. Why would we need wording on the wall to reinforce something that should be natural within a family? Those signs are just tacky. My in-laws got us a sign like that. We put it on storage and quietly sold it to someone who wanted it a few years later. Nutriboom. Boom boom. Boom boom. Just by the by, Debbie Stovelman is happy, healthy and alive? Ooh, Debbie dead. Debbie real dead. Plot twist, Debbie is happy, healthy and alive? Boom boom Jake. Boom boom. Working for a nonprofit. They tend to refer to employees as a family working for a cause, which wouldn't be culty on its own, but they definitely use it to manipulate employees to work themselves half to death, set a culture where boundaries are thought of as not being invested in the mission. They also use your passion for the mission to justify working you harder, paying you less. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my job and what I get to do. But I'm old enough to see what's been done to me over the years. The rotating door of young employees who are worked to burnout and replace, though, I feel bad for. It's a hard lesson to learn. Got told we weren't paid a lot because we were doing something we were passionate about. I was one of those that had no boundaries and burned out. Getting my master's to become an NP manager and help stop the burnout culture madness. Some fandoms. Especially K-pop fandoms. My Little Pony, too. I watched that show for a couple seasons back in the day, after wondering why several of my friends were hyping it up, including one that really surprised me by liking the show. Friendship is Magic. Pretty good show, quite funny. Took a peek or 2 or 3 into the fandom, though, and Jesus Christ. It was very well. No wonder people who watch the show have a bad reputation, goddamn. My 2 young daughters love MLP, but there is no way I'll ever let them Google anything or watch a video on YouTube because of the sexual side of the fans. I don't want my 8-year-old stumbling across some 30-year-old man's fantasy about impregnating Pinkie Pie. You know, prior to seeing what the fanbase was like, I would have rolled my eyes and thought you were just exaggerating like a douchebag. But, yeah. That shit would absolutely not surprise me now.